Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you. Thank you for saying good afternoon, whoever that was. My name is Nader Nadershahi, and I have the privilege of serving as chair of the ADIA Board of Directors. We are again gathered to conduct the business of the association in this closing session of the 2023 ADIA House of Delegates. This session will last for approximately 1 hour and is being recorded by a transcription technician. The closing session of the 2023 ADIA House of Delegates will now come to order. As in the opening session of the House, I want to introduce to you the platform party. My successor, Dr. Ana Lopez Fuentes, Chair-elect of the ADIA Board of Directors. Dr. Keith Mays, immediate past chair of the ADIA Board of Directors. Dr. Karen West, ADIA's President and CEO. And Dr. Jeffrey Stewart, ADIA's parliamentarian. We will now proceed with the formal business of the House of Delegates. Is a quorum present? Dr. West?
Yes, a quorum is present.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being here. A quorum is present, so we will proceed with the business at hand. The closing session of the 2023 ADIA House of Delegates is now in session. Before we proceed with the formal business of the House, I would like to announce that ADIA's 2023-2024 Chair-elect of the ADIA Board of Directors is Dr. Susan Cass. Congratulations, Susan. Could you please stand? And I'd also like to recognize and thank Dr. Jeff Hicks. Dr. Hicks, thank you. At this time, I would like to ask each council teller to please stand so we can be sure there are 7 of you, one representing each council. So the tellers, could you please stand? Okay. Thank you. You may be seated. If at any time the motion to vote by ballot is adopted, I will ask each teller to rise, distribute the ballots to their council, collect the ballots, and then take them to the table to my left. Count the votes for their council, write the number down, and bring it to Dr. West at the head table. While the tellers are verifying ballots, we will continue with our business and will announce the results as soon as they are available. In my role as presiding officer of the House of Delegates, I will direct the voting on each resolution and will also announce the result of any voting by ballot. We will now continue with the remaining resolutions 4H 2023 through 13H 2023. For each resolution addressed at today's session, delegates will be asked to vote by voice, by standing, or by ballot. A delegate may move that a vote on a resolution be taken by ballot. On each vote, the choice will be yes or no. In addition, if you wish to suggest an amendment to a resolution, you must have the amendment prepared in writing. Then read it to the House and bring it to the podium. If we have lengthy discussion on any resolution, I will designate 1 microphone for the resolution or amendment and 1 microphone against the resolution or amendment. Delegates have had the opportunity to read the Reference Committee's report and discuss the resolutions. The Reference Committee Chair will present the recommendations of the committee, not the entire report. In this way, we will complete our business efficiently. Joining me on the platform is Dr. Thikriyat Al-Jawar, representing the ADIA Council of Advanced Education Programs. Dr. Al-Jawar served on the Reference Committee on Association Policy and will present the recommendations of their committee in place of Mr. Justin Bauer of the Corporate Council, who was unable to attend this afternoon's session. The report will include recommendations on resolutions 4H 2023 through 7H 2023, as well as resolutions 12H and 13H 2023. The first resolution to come before the House is 4H 2023. I ask Dr. Al-Jawar to present the recommendations of the Reference Committee on Association Policy.
Mr. Chair, I was honored to serve on this committee and would like to thank my colleagues who served with me.
The members of the committee were Mr. Justin Bauer of Halion, representing the Corporate Council, Professor Marianne Mansky from Virginia Commonwealth University, representing the Council of Allied Dental Program Directors, Dr. Rick Black from Texas Tech University Health Sciences Center, El Paso Woody Hunt School of Dental Medicine, representing the Council of Deans, Dr. Etheline Thomason, University of Colorado School of Dental Medicine, representing the Council of Faculties, Dr. Michelle Brady, University of the Pacific Arthur Deguni School of Dentistry, representing the Council of Sections, Dr. Manavi Nagai, Harvard School of Dental Medicine, representing the Council of Students, Residents, and Fellows. I would like to ask the members of the House to please show your appreciation to these members. Thank you. The Reference Committee on Association Policy considered and recommends adoption of 4H 2023, which reads as follows. Resolved that ADIA encourages and supports oral health care education programs to utilize scientific evidence to integrate policies and education on the impact of, number one, global oral health care and education on the climate, and number two, climate change on oral and overall health into their programs.
Is there any discussion of this resolution? We shall proceed to a voice vote. Those in favor of the resolution, please say yes.
Yes.
Those opposed, say no. The resolution is adopted. Please continue.
The Reference Committee on Association Policy considered and recommends the adoption of 5H 2023, which reads as follows. Resolved that ADIA supports and encourages the education of students, professionals, and the public on activities, curricula, clinical experiences, continuing education, and delivery models that will promote equitable oral health for people with intellectual and developmental disorders and other special healthcare needs.
Is there any discussion of this resolution? We shall proceed to a voice vote. Those in favor of the resolution, please say yes.
Yes.
Those opposed, say no. The resolution is adopted. Please continue.
The Reference Committee on Association Policy considered and recommends the adoption of 6H 2023, which reads as follows. Resolved that the ADIA Board House of Delegates approves, accepts, and endorses the establishment of a position statement on the crisis of historically underrepresented men of color in the academic health professions. To read as follows, effective at the close of the 2023 ADIA Annual Session and Exhibition. The historic and ongoing crisis regarding the lack of historically underrepresented men of color matriculating to and graduating in oral health education and the other academic health professions has debilitating ramifications. Research strongly indicates that intentional actions such as mentorship, scholarships, pathway programs, inclusive pedagogy, unconscious bias training for educators, and fostering a humanistic, inclusive, and welcoming environment that supports belonging can move the needle forward to positively impact men of color entering the health professions and reverberate throughout the healthcare system and save lives. Therefore, ADIA calls for intentional collaborative efforts within oral health education and across the academic health professions, healthcare organizations, professional health associations, state and federal government, private foundations, educators, partners, and stakeholders to develop strategies and implement short-term and longitudinal programs to eliminate pathway barriers and improve the parity between the U.S. general population for historically underrepresented men of color in oral health care and across the health professions.
Is there any discussion of this resolution? We shall proceed to a voice vote. Those in favor of the resolution say yes.
Yes.
Those opposed say no. The resolution is adopted. Please continue.
The Reference Committee on Association Policy considered and recommends the adoption of 7H 2023, which reads as follows. Resolved that the IDEA House of Delegates approves the adoption of the 2023 IDEA competencies for allied dental professions as presented below, effective at the close of the 2023 IDEA annual session and exhibition. Delegates will note that the resolution refers to the entire competencies document appearing in the House of Delegates manual below the resolution itself.
Is there any discussion of this resolution? We shall proceed to a voice vote. Those in favor of the resolution, please say yes.
Yes.
Those opposed, please say no. The resolution is adopted. Please continue.
The Reference Committee on Association Policy considered Resolution 12H 2023 and recommends referral of the resolution to the IDEA Board of Directors for further study and action. The resolution reads as follows. Resolved that IDEA follows the Foundation's National Academies of Science, Engineering, and Medicine, and the National Institutes of Health. The American Dental Education Association must support efforts and strategies ensuring that progress is being made to curb sexual harassment, bullying, and retaliation. To do this, IDEA should embrace cultural change similar to NASM and NIH. IDEA can change culture by endorsing #UpStanders, encouraging schools to support and assist those that have been abused. IDEA shall encourage schools to reward and not retaliate against upstanders. We all must take part in a moral obligation to end the culture of sexual harassment in higher education and biomedical research.
Is there any discussion?
Good afternoon. My name is Melissa Ng, and I'm not speaking for my section, but I am the outgoing chair of Operative Dentistry and Biomaterials, and I'm the author of this resolution. I ask for your support of this resolution, and I'm going to give you the reasons why. In 2017, I spoke for me, for another faculty member, and for students that were harassed by the same perpetrator. I was consequently bullied and retaliated against. I made the decision to come forward because one of my best friends, who was male, said, Melissa, if you do not speak up and you go on to become dean one day, then I will have no respect for you and you will have no respect for you. After some of my harassment and retaliation story went viral, and my dental students had to explain to me what viral meant, I'll admit that. The students, some of the dental students, the graduates, contacted the journalists to substantiate that they too had experienced what some of the same perpetrator did to them. One graduate signed an affidavit for us. So #MeToo and #NotAlone did not make me feel any better knowing that the students suffered beside me. Remaining complicit puts us on par with unlawful acts of sexual harassment, assault, and retaliation. Bullying is not considered currently unlawful yet. As educators, clinicians, let's not forget the #1 reasons why we are here. We're here because of our dental students. We also have an obligation to these young men and women because they deserve a right to go to school in nurturing and safe environments. And teachers, that's what most of us are, deserve the right to be able to educate these young men and women without the risk of being sexually harassed and being punished for reporting. IDEA is the voice of dental education, but IDEA can lead the way to be the voice for making a difference for the rest of the world. And we can show them by filling a gap and fixing a broken system. So I'm asking you to resolve urgently and proactively by preventing liability, future liability, heartache, and trauma. And I do also want to say that More than half of academic federal research funds comes from the Department of Health and Human Resources, and that's primarily from the National Institutes of Health, which is NIH. So that means your tax dollars, my tax dollars, that all goes into this, okay? And when I realized that, that means my tax dollars caused me to be sexually harassed. So I just want you to know that. And Congress has been working on this. Things in Congress sometimes take time, but maybe we, as the DIA, can do something to show everybody what we can do. Okay, so NIH is working on this. NISM, which is the National Academies of Science, Engineering, and Medicine, they're working towards trying to stop this. And also, there are a lot of universities are trying to stop this, as well as the state of Washington. They've already enacted state law to try and stop sexual harassment, as well as the state of California. They're working on it too. So maybe we can lead the way as an organization. Thank you.
Thank you. Seeing no one else in the queue, we shall proceed to a voice vote. Those in favor of the reference committee recommendation to refer to the DIA Board of Directors, please say yes.
Yes.
Those opposed, say no. The recommendation to refer is approved. Please continue.
The Reference Committee on Association Policy considered Resolution 13H 2023 and recommends referral of the resolution to the ADIA Board of Directors for further study and action. The resolution reads as follows. Resolved that the ADIA support Stop Past the Harasser initiatives by recommending that dental schools follow sexual harasser screening processes as set forth in the state of Washington, University of California, San Diego, University of California, Davis, University of Wisconsin, and University of Illinois, making safer learning and teaching environments for students, faculty, and staff.
Is there any discussion? Seeing none, we shall proceed to a voice vote. Those in favor of the Reference Committee recommendation to refer to the DIA Board of Directors, please say yes.
Yes.
Those opposed, say no. The recommendation to refer is approved. I'd like to thank Dr. Al-Jawar, as well as the members of the 2023 Reference Committee on Association Policy for their work. Joining me on the platform now is Ms. Karen Raposa of Hugh Freedy Group, representing the DIA Corporate Council. Ms. Raposa is chair of this year's Reference Committee on Administration Affairs and will present the committee's recommendations on resolutions 8H through 11H 2023. Delegates have had the opportunity to read the Reference Committee's report and discuss the resolutions. The Reference Committee chair will present the recommendations of the committee, not the entire report. In this way, we will complete our business more efficiently. We will begin with Resolution 8H 2023. I ask Ms. Raposa to present the recommendations of the Reference Committee.
Mr. Chair, I was honored to serve as chair of this Reference Committee and would like to thank my colleagues who served with me. The members of the committee were Dr. Susan Perazis, University of Detroit Mercy School of Dentistry, representing the Council of Advanced Education Programs, Professor Ann Brunn, Old Dominion University, representing the Council of Allied Dental Program Directors, Dr. Janet Guthmiller, University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, Adams School of Dentistry, representing the Council of Deans, Dr. Eric Gottman, University of Missouri, Kansas City School of Dentistry, representing the Council of Faculties, Ms. Martha Clements, Midwestern University College of Dental Medicine, Arizona, representing the Council of Sections, Mr. Andrew Halverson, Western University of Health Sciences, College of Dental Medicine, representing the Council of Students, Residents, and Fellows. Please show your appreciation to these members. The Reference Committee on Administrative Affairs considered and recommends the adoption of Resolution 8H 2023, which reads, Resolved, the ADIA House of Delegates accepts the Northeast Ohio Medical University Batante College of Dentistry's application for provisional membership in ADIA effective July 1, 2023.
Is there any discussion on this resolution? We shall proceed to a voice vote. Those in favor of the resolution say yes.
Yes.
Those opposed say no. The resolution is adopted. Please continue.
The Reference Committee on Administrative Affairs considered and recommends adoption of Resolution 9H 2023, which reads, Resolved that the ADIA House of Delegates accepts the Pacific Northwest University of Health Sciences College of Dental Medicine's application for provisional membership in ADIA effective July 1, 2023.
Is there any discussion on this resolution? We shall now proceed to a voice vote. Those in favor of the resolution say yes.
Yes.
Those opposed say no. The resolution is adopted. Please continue.
The Reference Committee on Administrative Affairs considered and recommends adoption of Resolution 10H 2023, which reads, Resolved that the ADIA House of Delegates accepts the Universidad Ana G. Mendez School of Dental Medicine's application for provisional membership in ADIA effective July 1, 2023.
Is there any discussion of this resolution? We shall proceed to a voice vote. Those in favor of the resolution say yes.
Yes.
Those opposed say no. The resolution is adopted. Please continue.
The Reference Committee on Administrative Affairs considered and recommends adoption of Resolution 11H 2023, which reads, Resolved that the ADIA House of Delegates accepts the University of Pikeville College of Dental Health's application for provisional membership in ADIA effective July 1, 2023.
Is there any discussion on this resolution? Seeing none, we shall proceed to a voice vote. Those in favor of the resolution, please say yes.
Yes.
Those opposed, say no. The resolution is adopted. I'd like to thank Ms. Raposa as well as the members of the 2023 ADIA Reference Committee on Administrative Affairs for their work. I'd like to express sincere thanks to both committees and the members of the 2023 ADIA House of Delegates for your work on these important pieces of legislation for our association. Additional thanks are extended to our parliamentarian, Dr. Jeffrey Stewart, as well. Please join me in a deserving round of applause for their collective work. Is there any additional business to come before the House? Seeing none, we will move to the next item on our agenda, which is the Chair's final address to the Association. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to share some thoughts. Before I do, though, I'd like to share a personal thank you to my wife, Dr. Neelu Nader Shahi, an amazing dental educator, mother, and partner in life for me. I'm so lucky to learn from you and your passion and energy. Thank you. Esteemed delegates and guests, Board of Directors, Dr. Mays, Dr. Lopez, Dr. West, Dr. Stewart, and all of our volunteer and professional leaders, it has been a privilege to work with you during this last year. This is a bittersweet moment, and I'm humbled to stand before you today as I near the end of my term as chair of the board for the American Dental Education Association, as we celebrate 100 years of promoting excellence in dental education and advancing the oral health of the public. We have much to be proud of in this century. Our commitment to dental education has led to numerous advancements in education, technology, research, and patient care. The association's advocacy efforts have played a crucial role in shaping the dental profession and improving access to quality oral health care for all. However, as we celebrate our achievements, we must also acknowledge the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead. The COVID-19 pandemic underscored the need for continued innovation and adaptability in oral health education. The increasing demand for oral health care services are essential for primary health care, and the evolving needs of our patients will require us to stay at the forefront of this change. As we stand on the cusp of the new century, we must recommit ourselves to our purpose. We must encourage new thinking. We must continue to lead, be the voice of dental education, and champion oral health and an integration as an important component of overall health. We must work together to ensure that our programs and initiatives remain relevant and effective in meeting the needs of our members and our great profession. That is why I asked, and our board and future leaders ask, for your help and ideas. The IDEA New Thinking for the New Century project that I launched almost 2 years ago helps Dr. West and our board to identify new solutions to some of the chronic and emerging challenges facing dental education. At the same time, we encourage and support the development of new generation of diverse leaders for oral health education. Our board retreat this summer was focused on innovation and the value of innovative thinking to shape the future of oral health education. During my remarks last year, you may remember at the House, I referenced a song from Hamilton, the musical, "History Has Its Eyes on You." Now, perhaps more than ever, history has its eyes on us in oral health education. With new thinking, we will achieve our shared vision to grow a well-prepared and diverse oral health workforce. We will lift one another up and remember that each of us and all that we dream is possible. We will help write the history that will make us proud with the New Thinking for the New Century recommendations as a roadmap. We will do this through collaboration, innovation, and engagement. As we deploy new thinking, it must be followed with action. And I'm grateful that we have taken that charge and begun to take action through some of the resolutions that you adopted today. This will guide IDEA as the leading voice for dental education. Our students and residents ask me where I see dental education going in the next 100 years, so I'll end my comments with what I shared with them. In the next 100 years, I see dental education becoming even stronger than it is today. I believe that we will collaborate more closely with our partners in academia, research, and the private sector to advance our shared vision and goals. Our allied dental and advanced programs will work more closely with one another to share resources, ideas, and content. We will embrace new technologies, pedagogical approaches, and research methodology to stay ahead of the curve in dental education. The integration of technology will accelerate in the classroom and simulation to enhance student learning, and in the clinic to improve the quality of our person-centered care. We will support and encourage our members to pursue new ideas and initiatives that will shape the future of our profession. Artificial intelligence and machine learning will raise the bar for our clinical and biomedical understanding, diagnostic abilities, treatment planning decisions, preventive and surgical care, as well as practice management. Mixed reality will become commonplace in our educational and clinical settings, including patient education, to reach a new level of efficacy and reduce the burden of periodontal disease, caries, oral cancers, and other chronic diseases. I also have a dream that we will increase understanding of the impact created by the clinical and community public health services provided by our programs. I dream that our clinical safety net care will be reimbursed at an appropriate level, and ultimately, my biggest dream is that we are able to reduce the cost of delivering education through some of these steps and encourage public and private investment in our schools and programs so that the price that students pay for education may be lowered. We will remain engaged with our members, stakeholders, and the public to ensure that our programs and initiatives are responsive to their needs. We will also work to increase public awareness of the importance of oral health and the role of oral health care and education in improving it. Each one of you has a vital role to play in advancing oral health education, and that starts with the fundamental faith in your value, your worth to this community and this important work. My faith in you and our IDEA community is unshakable. As we set our diverse and unique paths to forging a better tomorrow, we must each believe I'm possible. I believe the future for the profession and for oral health education is bright because of the strong and diverse students and residents that I see every day at the Degoni School and across the country in all of our programs, and the passion and creativity that they bring to our great profession. I cannot wait to see what the next century holds for us, and I cannot think of a better way to start the new century than with honest theme of new beginnings, endless opportunities. I look forward to working with our board as immediate past chair and supporting you and IDEA as we chart our path and our new beginnings. Thank you again for the opportunity to serve you as chair, and more importantly, for your commitment and passion for IDEA. Thank you. Before we end this closing session of the House, I'd like to recognize the board members whose terms are ending at the close of this meeting and welcome the new board members. I would like to ask the board members whose current terms are ending to come forward now to be recognized. You know who you are. As you're coming up, I want to thank you for your leadership. It's been a privilege to work with all of you. Yeah, no, this one. Dr. Greg Ness and Dr. Heather Conrad, who have represented the Council of Advanced Education Programs during the last 3 years. Dr. Laura Ramito, who has represented the Council of Sections, and Dr. Manavi Nagai, who has represented the Council of Students, Residents, and Fellows. Please join me in giving them a round of applause. I knew you were here.
No, sorry about that.
As they're going back to their seats, in recognition of your leadership, commitment, and contributions to IDEA, including the most valuable one, your time, we offer this token of appreciation that you took, and you'll see it has a clock in it, which is why I emphasize time in my remarks. So now, I'd like to introduce our outgoing principal officer, Dr. Keith Mays, immediate past chair of the IDEA Board of Directors, who will end his term as principal officer of the association at the close of this annual session. Dr. Mays has led the board with dedication, grace, and steadiness. Dr. Mays has been so wonderful to work with, and I know that you all will agree with me that he has served IDEA extremely well over the last 3 years, and we will always appreciate what he has done during his tenure on the board. For me personally, it's been such a privilege to work with Keith and watching his leadership, learning from him, and being able to call you my friend. It's been a real honor and a privilege. Thank you for your service. Sorry. I'm afraid he might steal one of my jokes. Oh, I'm sorry. I was supposed to read what's written on the glass that Keith has. You know, wait till the last time for me to mess up my script. This award is presented to Dr. Keith Mays in recognition of your abundant and selfless contributions to the work of our association on the IDEA Board of Directors. So that's the inscription on the glass. Keith, thank you. Now you may say a few words.
I want to start by saying you all are in trouble because someone gave Dr. Lopez a book of jokes. Drs. West, Dr. Nashahi, Dr. Lopez, Dr. Stewart, thank you. Colleagues, delegates, friends, it has been an honor to serve as a board member and as a principal officer. For the past 100 years, IDEA has served as a voice of dental education, advocating for students, faculty, allied programs, dental schools, and for the advancement of oral health, and I am proud to have been along for part of the journey. IDEA continues to build an inclusive environment in which everyone has an opportunity to rise. As I look out upon this House of Delegates and understand that each of you represents thousands of students and residents, faculty and staff at dental and allied institutions and hospital-based programs across the US and Canada, of which the collective is responsible for educating and training providers who care for millions of patients throughout their careers. It is for that reason the work of our association is so vital. I would be remiss if I were to fail to acknowledge the support and the contributions from our corporate counsel and the companies you represent, who are critical for our association and for our dental institutions. All of the work produced by our councils has been fueled by the incredible work, sometimes completed late at night, by our current and former ADIA staff, who are the lifeblood of our association. I thank you all for your support and laughter and guidance as you have given me counsel as an officer and a board member. And I have to give a special thanks to my man, Kevin, for keeping us fed during our meetings in DC. I am thankful for the opportunity to have served with colleagues and others over the years from whom I've learned so much. I challenge us as an association to continue to move forward transformatively changes in healthcare and healthcare education. In order to advance our mission, there is work to be done to revise accreditation standards. Although we know that the mouth is part of the body, there is still a need to advocate for oral health to be a full member of the health system and not an add-on benefit that many don't have the access and means to access. It was timely that as part of the 100th anniversary that Dr. Nada Shahi challenges us to have new thinking. Dr. Lopez, I look forward to your leadership of the ADIA Board of Directors shining a light on our endless opportunities. Dr. West, representation matters, and the absence of providers of color is most definitely a public health matter. I am thankful for your advancement of this matter through the awesome work of Dr. Sonia Smith and her staff. I truly believe that ADIA can be the leading example among the healthcare professions of how to reduce barriers of achieving and reaching equity in healthcare. Lastly, but not least, I thank my bride, Rashandra, for allowing me the time that it takes to take countless calls, address emails, and attend meetings over the years. It has been great to have a partner in life who deeply understands the work that is being accomplished and who also seeks to advance oral health. I love you. Colleagues, thank you for allowing me to serve. I bid you safe travel back to your home. I am ADIA, and I am possible. Thank you.
Now I'm pleased to recognize the members of the 2023-2024 ADIA Board of Directors. First, Dr. Ana Lopez Fuentes, Chair of the ADIA Board of Directors. Dr. Susan Cass, our new Chair-elect of the ADIA Board of Directors. And then the 7 ADIA Board Directors representing each of our 7 ADIA councils. Continuing as Board Director for the Council of Faculties, Dr. M. Larry Bates. Actually, could you guys stand while I'm, sorry. I should have given that instruction at the beginning. Sorry, Larry. You were right in front of me, so I noticed you weren't moving. Continuing on as Board Director for the Council of Allied Dental Program Directors is Professor Amy Copeland. Continuing as Board Director for the Corporate Council is Mr. Lawrence Schnuck. Continuing as Board Director for the Council of Deans is Dr. Mert Aksu. Continuing on the board in her role as ADIA's past President and CEO is Dr. Karen West. And of course, I will continue while in the role of immediate past chair of the Board of Directors. And joining the board as incoming board directors are representing the Council of Advanced Education Programs, Dr. Russ Bergman. Representing the Council of Sections will be Dr. Dorini Vanderhoven. Representing the Council of Students, Residents, and Fellows will be Mr. Matthew Wright. You can give them all a round of applause. Thank you. You may be seated. You have an amazing team, Dr. Lopez. In a few moments, Dr. Lopez will begin her term as chair of the ADIA Board of Directors. In my role as immediate past chair, I will serve as chair of the ADIA Finance Committee and ADIA Nominating Committee. Thank you to the House of Delegates and the ADIA membership for conferring upon us such a great honor and high distinction to serve as your representatives. We are humbled and filled with gratitude for the trust you have given us, and we thank all of you for your diligence and participation. Before we adjourn, I want to encourage you to give us feedback about the meeting, as it will help us in planning for the 2024 annual session. I wish all of you safe journeys home. We look forward to seeing you for the next ADIA annual session and exhibition, March 9th through 12th, 2024, at the New Orleans Ernest N. Morial Convention Center in New Orleans, where the theme will be New Beginnings, Endless Possibilities. This completes our business. The 100th House, that sounds great, doesn't it? The 100th House of Delegates of the American Dental Education Association is adjourned.